All right, we are live.
Actually, dude.
So, this is episode 1 of our podcast that we are doing.
We need a podcast name.
We do need a podcast name. We'll get there.
We'll get
Uh,
there. Let's make a name right now. We'll call it Burn the Stockpile.
Burn the Stockpile. All right, this is episode 1 of Burn the Stockpile.
You going with that?
Uh,
That's the name of a Keyforge card I read randomly. That's freaking okay.
so
Fine. We'll call it Burn.
episode 1 of Burn the Stockpile. We are reviewing 21 Pilots Trench, their latest album.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this album briefly as a whole?
As a whole, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. A solid. No more, no less. I think there are some pretty good hits. You know, where's that freaking I'm looking for that album list again. I'm on a Game of Thrones page. Well, where's my Trench at? Trench Pilots. I think it's alright. I think it's alright album. I think the first half definitely big hits, song that I listen to again. Jumpsuit, Levitate My Blood, and after that it just kind of goes downhill. It has a couple gems here and there. You got Nico and the Niners, especially the rapping part. That song's kind of weird though, because for me I don't like the beginning-ish kind of part. It's reading that rap part I like a lot. But yeah, and then Neon Gravestones, good song. And Bandito, good song. Besides that, it kind of falls apart because they fall into the cliche. And that's the problem with this album, is that they're really good in the beginning, but they tend to fall into that pop cliche. They don't innovate anymore. 21 Pilots is a pop alternative band. I hope that they would innovate more. That's what I would hope for, and they do, but not enough. Not for my taste. You know.
So
That's yeah.
I'm on a similar opinion as you. I give it an 8 out of 10 though. I
Hmm.
I also think that the first half is a lot stronger than the second half, but I think the second half also has a lot of merit to it. So let's break this down track by track. Let's talk
Yep.
about track 1, Jumpsuit.
Jumpsuit.
This is maybe my favorite song, maybe my second favorite off the entire album. I love the energy of it. I think it's maybe the edgiest song on the album.
Yes. Yeah, we can. I can agree on that.
So what are your thoughts on this?
Uh, okay. So I think it's in terms of putting in songs. I think the first three songs are the best songs in this album. I'm going to put it at a number three spot. This song for best songs in the album.
Okay.
Um,
What did you like about it?
what I like, well, I like the structure a bit, and what I mean by that is that it starts off with a very heavy bass riff,
Yes, it does.
which is nice. I mean, that's nice. That's always good. I'm a bass player. I like bass. That's good. Um, but I like how they immediately transition to this, you know, quieter, more mellow,
Yeah,
but
there's a bit of
still.
a build up to like a louder section, and then it goes into the softer, no bass line, just pretty much drums and vocals verse.
Oh yeah. What what this song does well is two things. It does effects very well. It has some very nice panning. It has some very nice mixing. But it also does dynamics very well. If I was a music teacher, I would give this song to my students, teach them the power of dynamics. That's really what this song is
I
overall.
completely agree with you.
Yeah. It is not a song that's complex lyrically. It's not even a complex song harmony wise. It's just pentatonic scale, really. But they do the job very well in terms of building it up, lowering it down, but still keeping the tension. That's the kind of song I want to hear in an opening of an album. To be honest, something that will interest me, and
Yeah,
it
I think
definitely
the
interested me for Levitate, My Blood, and the rest of the better songs to follow.
I I think that the moment in the song that best describes what you're saying, the dynamic changes, is the bridge where it's just like the piano, not even any drums.
Oh yeah,
Actually, there's a little bit of drums, but it's not very pronounced. It's just basically piano and vocals, and then it builds up into the screaming section, the only one on the album. Uh, it just gets really in your face there at the end. and I
Mm-hmm.
love the I also love the dynamic changes.
Oh yeah, and you have a good point right there, though. I mean, the drummer Josh is definitely a core member of the band of the two, definitely. And when he drops out, you know shit's going down in
Yeah.
this in a song, you know. And I don't know, like you told me you haven't seen the music video to this album, but in this song they start dropping flowers from above as Tyler is staring in front of this Grim Reaper Bishop kind of guy. I find that kind of weird in this part, but at the same time oddly fitting. Um, so what would you haven't seen the video part, but I'll link it to you right now. But what do you think is the meaning of this kind of dropping of flowers in this part?
um, it's a good question. Uh, I have an idea of what the song is about in terms of the concept of the album. Uh, yeah, I have no idea what the meaning of that is in terms of the album. I'm going to assume that there is one, but I do not know it.
I don't know. It could be no meaning at all.
Yeah,
Uh,
who knows?
I think at bare bones, I think it means like initiation. Because in that, after those flowers drop, he's just like, "Well, I got to get the hell out of here." He does, starts running away, and he never actually jumps his album, even though he has a jump suit. But that running is kind of jumping in a way, and levitate is kind of the revival, getting back to its roots.
So it's a great transition into the next song. What did you think of track 2, Levitate?
Best song on the album, 10 out of 10, hands down. We'll listen again.
I like it a lot. I wouldn't say it's the second best song for me. I mean, the best song on the album for me. I think it's good, but I think it's too short to be memorable. And
Mm.
it's like, I don't know. I know it's a hip hop song and it's not supposed to be catchy, but uh, a lot of my favorite songs have just like really catchy hooks or catchy moments that I just sing in the back of my head over and over. And that's
Mm.
part of what makes this album great for me. But I do like the energy of the song. I think either the most energetic or second most energetic song on the album, maybe the most energetic. I thought it was a good track. Definitely one of my favorites on the album, but I wouldn't say it's the best song. So what do you think? What makes it the best song for you?
Best song. Well, I think I'm gonna disagree with you there. I think because it's so short, it is the most memorable of the album. It's the shortest song in this whole thing, and it does the job of music very well. It's a pop, it's a splash, it's a blast. That's what the song is. It's a burst of energy, kind of energy I want in this song. 21 Pilots, they go by two hats, in my opinion. You go by this kind of super dramatic, kind of mellow but emo, teenage angst kind of hat, but they also go through this teenage angst, energetic kind of hat to spice you up, to fill you up with energy. That's what this song does. This whole song is the epitome of energy of the band. You know, the drummer is just on those drums, beat by beat,
Definitely agree
pushing.
with you there. I
Yeah.
think the drumming on this song is great.
Oh yeah, fantastic. And the rap parts is amazing. His flow is incredible. The rhymes are nice, and he also maintains semantics very well. So definitely a good song. And this in music video as well, it's not cult like, but it's very gang like. I'm getting this very kind of mob mentality kind of vibe, which if he's going for that, that's spot on because mob mentality is the definition of energy, and that's what the song is. It's energy.
I
So
I think my biggest problem with it though is, I mean, it's like I said, I'd still rank it as among my favorites on the album, but I think it's like on the lower end of my favorites.
hmm,
Just for the reason is I don't think it's a song that I would ever go back to. Like just if I choose one song from the album to listen to, it wouldn't be Levitate.
that's fair. You think it's more of a one and done kind of
I
deal?
think it fits great in the flow of the album, but I think just as a song on its own, I think it's great. But I think there's better moments on the album personally.
That's fair. I can go with that. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I agree with you there. It's not a song I would go back often. Like even though I put it at the best song for me in this whole album, I wouldn't listen to it often because of its length. That's fine as well. Um, but sometimes the best song not the song you go back to, and that's all right. But there are some songs and albums you can only hear one time through to get the magic out of it. And
Yeah, I
sometimes you have to
definitely agree with
hear
that.
sometimes you have to hear that song in context with others to really get the magic out of it. You know,
So what
like
did you? Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. That whole album needs to listen to in its entirety. People will pick apart like Money or um Comfortably Numb out of it. Pick it apart for the radio.
Yeah,
It needs to be
yeah, it's
heard
like a
to the
concept
song.
album,
Yeah.
or
So that
I guess
that's
the
and this
flow of it.
song.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Uh, so what were you saying, dude?
So, what did you think of the next song, Morph?
Oh, it's actually My Blood next, right?
No, it's Morph.
Weird, because in YouTube it's what the heck?
Did you not listen to Morph?
No, I listen to Morph, but
Oh,
I'm not in. I'm in this 21 Pilots like album playlist, but it's not by 21 Pilots. It's by another guy named Shafix.
yeah, the third track is Morph.
Yeah, no, I heard the whole album their via their YouTube channel, so I know all the songs in order. But what the heck? Huh.
So, what did you think
Morph
of
is
Morph?
alright. It was definitely the first forgettable song in the album, in my opinion. It's I don't know. It's pretty emo, to put it simply. You know,
Wait,
uh,
out of all the songs on the album, you think this one's emo?
mm,
I think the other songs are a lot more emo than this one.
take that back.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's definitely, I don't know, edgy. I think it's a better word than emo.
I guess I can see that. I didn't get a ton into the lyrics of this song, of the deeper meanings, but I love the bass line and the drums during the verses. Uh, I love the rapping on the verses. I think the chorus is incredible. That I'm off to someone else. I just man,
Mm.
I think it's fantastic. I think the chorus is great. It has a catchy hook. I just think it's a great song in general.
Like it's not a bad song. Again, there are no bad songs in this album. Like like you have to expect that from a pop kind of band like this, or pop alternative. Was what I said before. But I do think it gets repetitive. That's why I don't like it a whole lot. And that's a lot of problem with these kind of forgettable songs here in this album. They get very repetitive. Um, and I get why they do that. It's a lot of 21 Pilots is this kind of chanting kind of vibe to keep the energy going. Jumpsuit definitely shows that as well, and it's building it up. Um, but this song it does that kind of repetitive vibe, but it doesn't really build up a whole lot. It remains kind of static in my opinion.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
why,
I can definitely see that.
yeah,
I
that
feel like
yeah.
there's other songs on this album that you said that you liked that are similar to that too, though.
Mm.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. But
We'll get to that later. For sure. So, what do you think of My Blood? Not that we got there.
one of my favorites off the album, top three for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely the poppiest song off the album, and it's the biggest single,
Oh yeah.
and starts out with just the drums and vocals, and then the bass line comes in and it hits hard.
Oh yeah.
One thing that's in common with a lot of these songs on this album, very catchy chorus.
Oh yeah.
Uh, maybe one of the catchiest on this entire album.
That I could. I think it is the catchiest in the album. I think this is definitely the catchiest song on the whole album. You can pick apart. Like that is a good. It doesn't sound very cheesy too, man. The effects they do is great on it, and it just sounds. It flows well, overall. Um. So yeah,
I don't know what else
and
to
I
say
don't.
about this track. I think just a great song.
Oh yeah. Well, also, I don't. You haven't seen it, but I'll talk about the music video as well. I think it's music video. It's kind of weird because most of the music videos kind of work together when it shows the videos. You know, the ones that are kind of more forgetful don't have any animation. It's just kind of a static screen or a picture or a small GIF.
Yeah.
But the ones that do have videos, like, they tend to go along with the main story of like a jumpsuit, rebelling. But this one's different in that it hosts two friends, best friends, looks like, and then they grow up into teenagers, and it's about them sticking through thick and thin. And one of them joins a football team, the other one is kind of like more shy. But either way, the one on the football team is always there for his bro. In the climax of the video, um, the football player gets beaten up by other football players for hanging out with his childhood friend. And at the very end, the childhood friend helps him out by beating the shit out of the other football players with his bat.
You know what's great is I actually didn't see this music video, and I thought the song was like kind of a love song, but it's actually about after hearing what you're saying and just browsing through the music video, I think it's actually about
Kinship, brothership.
the two members of the band and how they're great friends and how they're the same bloodline. They're brothers.
Oh yeah, I can see that, man. It's
I think
definitely a
that's
song.
what the song's about.
Yeah. It doesn't have to fight as brothers, sisters too. Just you're my blood, That's really what it
Yeah.
is, man. It's a song kinship. And I think I think it resonates very well with today's kind of youth culture. When we're all confused about who we are identity wise and kind of shit like that. But really, we need a song on the radio that's not a love song, but a song that's just talking about, hey, we're just friends and we're chill and we're together. That's what a song does, and I think it's fantastic. So it definitely deserves a place as a hit single, my opinion.
I completely agree. I think I think it's the catchiest song on the album. One of them. Maybe the catchiest. But yeah, great single, great choice for them to make that one a single. What did you think of track 5, Chlorine?
Whew. I don't know, man. It's like some of the more forgettable ones.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, let's talk about the music. The music video has one of the lines here. It says, "Beat is a chemical." I don't even know what that means in context of this
So,
song.
okay. So I actually, this is like maybe the most listened to song on the album on my part. It's not necessarily my favorite, but
Really?
I'm not sure why it's a song that I keep coming back to. But I've listened to it so much in the car that my mom and I just know a lot of the lyrics. So the song is actually about the effect that music has on the singer Tyler's mind. He in the chorus he references, "When I leave, don't save my seat. I'll be back when it's all complete," which is a reference to the little hiatus that they had from Blurryface to this album, and how it's good. It's medical for him to make the music, but it's not something that he can do a lot. He says, like, the main line, sipping on straight chlorine, like, it's dangerous to him mentally. Does that make sense? Because he's singing about his depression and other personal topics of his, and it's not something that he can do a lot. Does that make sense?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, music is strong. People give music crap, but it heals. Music is a healing form. It's used in religion. It's used to talk about love. It's used to have sex. It's used to do love. It's used for basically everything. I can't think of a situation where music would not make something better or make someone better. So, if you need to hiatus from music because, it's reminding him of depression or he uses it as a way to heal, but can only use it so much, that's fine. You know, I
But
guess,
that's my take on what the song's about. I know a lot of the lyrics, and
yeah,
some of them don't really make sense to me, but overall, I think that's like what I'm getting from it.
that's fair. I think, and I'm not sure if it's spot on, but I think you're pretty close to what it actually means. And in context of that, I think it's good. My one problem with it, I think it's too long for what it is, in my
Yeah, I can
opinion.
see that. It is.
But
It's the second longest song on the album.
yeah, and I don't think it deserves that length for what it is. I think, for me, I'm the kind of guy who listens to an album beginning to end, one way through, and most pop songs should have a theme. And I'll talk about theme later on, why I liked it and I didn't like it. But I felt like because it was too long, it kind of like droned me out, and it got me thinking of things other than the song, which is a sign of not a good song for an album, in my opinion. A good song should not make you think of things too much outside of the song. If you're gonna, like, it's fine to zone out to a Pink Floyd or Bob Marley a bit, right? But a song like this, a pop kind of song, I need to be more into it. A song like Levitate, I'm just focusing on the lyrics and stuff, focusing on the beat. But in this song, it made me not focus on the beat, not focus on the lyrics as much. I was hearing it, listening a bit, but not as much as I was before. So by those standards, the song wasn't great, wasn't bad, but it was pretty meh. You know,
I like the song a lot. Uh, I don't know if it's one of my top favorites on the album, but definitely a favorite.
fair. And again, you've heard it a lot of times. I've only heard it
Yeah,
once.
it's true.
Right? I told you already. So, maybe I can get that what's it called again? Psychology. It's when you hear
The
um
mirror effect or something.
I don't think it's called an air effect, but it's pretty basically you get to the point where you hear something so many times. Mirror exposure effect. There we go.
Yeah,
So if you had the you've had the mirror exposure effect. I haven't. This is just my first opinion, but I guarantee you, if I hear it more times, I'm gonna like it more no matter what. But if I first listen time through, pretty meh. All right, so let's get to
Smithereens.
Smithereens. Yeah, your opinion on
So,
that?
this is the first forgettable song on the album for me.
That is fair. I also think it's forgettable, but tell me why you think it is.
I don't know. I just think it didn't have a strong chorus. I thought the verses were just okay, and that bridge, it was like there's like this weird synthesizer. I didn't like the synth lead at all. Uh, and Tyler's singing in this strange with these strange inflections, and I didn't like the bridge. And the rest of the song is just kind of meh. What did you think of it?
That's exactly what I thought. Like the very end, the rest of the song is just ellipses. That's kind of what the song is. It's again, I told you, 21 Pilots is a pop metal band, and that's how I'm gonna stick with them because that's what that's a pop alternative. Then definitely not metal by any means. I was talking about that screaming part in Jumpsuit. However, the pop alternative definitely, you know. But um, this song turns them to a pop band, which is not what I want. They're not a pop band, and that's what that they're not a pop band, but they're singing as pop, and they're on pop radio. That's the kind of power they have. But this song is a pop song. It's gonna be forgettable. It uses this very cliche 1 6 4 5 chords. Nothing wrong with that per se, but at least vary it up with the vocals, the melody line, or just some timbre. Mix it up a bit if you're gonna use those kind of chords,
I
right?
have no problem with him doing pop songs. Like we said before, like I've said before, Chlorine was like a pretty poppy song.
Yeah,
Same thing with My Blood, which you liked, but I like when they do pop songs. It's just I just think that this just wasn't a good pop song.
it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I think that they do pop great, but this was just not a good example of that.
or they can do pop grade. They didn't do pop grade here. Um, like the problem with okay, the thing I hate about pop is that you can never have a bad pop song because pop songs are designed to sound good to the ear, but because they don't sound bad, you're gonna forget them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we said, and because you forget them, that's even worse than being bad. Like I can say a bad song like what's a bad song right now? I can't even think of a bad song right now. Um,
I mean, I feel like there definitely are bad
Friday.
pop songs.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
de-
Friday.
they're
Friday. There we go.
they're definitely
That
bad pop songs.
oh yeah, like
I don't know
well,
how
here's
many
the
I can
thing,
name
like
just off the top of my head, but they definitely exist. And I think that there's a different category between bad and forgettable pop songs.
yeah,
I think that
like
I I don't know. This is definitely not a bad pop song, but it is a forgettable pop song.
yeah. So I've done like a few seconds. I've done a little bit of thinking, but a bad pop song is a pop song that strays too far from or rather, not strays from the formula, but stresses the formula so much. Think of Rebecca's Black Friday, a notorious bad pop song, right? Her voice is so nasally when pop song is supposed to be a bit nasally for sure, but it's too nasally. It's Friday, Friday, that kind of crap. You know what is that? That is it's, a bad pop song is a pop song that over exaggerates, and it's impossible to have a bad. Theoretically, it's impossible to have a bad pop song because you're going to use chord sequences that always sound good to the ear. You're gonna use drums that are reliable. 4/4, who can go? How can you mess it up? Right? You mess it up because you go too far in the formula. That's what you over exaggerate what the formula is. You know, Friday is it's a definition, of an overstressed pop song. If we're talking about music in terms of a political scale, Rebecca Black is an ultra liberal or the ultra conservative of pop. That's what it is. It's an over exaggeration of it all. So, now this song, Smithereens, back to Throwing Piles right now, the song was not an over exaggeration. It didn't stray away from the pop pattern at all, but it was dead on. And because it was dead on, it sounded like everyone else. That's why we're going to forget about it. There was nothing that separated it apart from any other song on this album, except for the fact that it sounded too poppy, which, in retrospect, it's kind of good because we can talk about it like this, but it's not. Well, it's not useful when talking about the album later on, because we'll be talking about Neon Gravestones, like the next song. We're
Yeah,
talking
I
about
kind of I kind of see what you're
Dumpster.
saying. Like even with 21 Pilots' biggest hits, they all have like a kind of a sound, like an edge a bit that you can like call their own, that they can call their own, and that you
Right,
can recognize them with.
right,
Songs like
and
Heathens is like
oh,
you wouldn't
Heathens.
mistake that for any other pop band out there. There's no way.
Oh yeah, no, that's their song. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just their song. I think, and just to clarify right now, right? I don't think it's impossible for a band to not have a forgettable song. You're gonna have forgettable song here and there. I mean, my favorite band, like Muse, right? Talking about their last album, there are plenty of forgettable songs in that album, right? For sure, a couple hits there and here and there, but pressure. But there are plenty of forgettable songs that I did not listen to again. Just haven't, except for that one time playthrough or whatever it was. But you can have a forgettable song. But here's the thing, here's the good thing about having a forgettable song. If a forgettable song is good, it makes the whole album better. Forgettable songs make an album from good to great. That's why you need a good forgettable song. It's true, right? It's the whole album we look at, right? I'm not gonna say, my favorite Muse album, right? Let's say like Drones. Drones is one album where I love every single song. There's not a single song that's forgettable. I've listened to every song there multiple times. In my opinion, I think Drones is my favorite Muse album. Maybe not be for you, maybe not be for everyone else, but in that album, I love the whole totality of it because there's not a song there that I don't like. I listened to every song. The Handler I loved. Reapers I really loved. Even the first hits when it first came out. Well, actually, think about it. It's one song I don't like. Mercy. That was pretty meh. But besides that, almost every song there was, if even though it may be forgettable here and there, it was still good. You know, So that's why you need to have a good forgettable song to make the album better. And a good album, shreds the charts, and that gives you the awards. You know,
Yeah, I can
but
see that. And I definitely think that your point of it make forgettable songs make the rest of the album look better is true in this case because Neon Gravestones, the next song, this is a great song. Uh, it has like the most probably the biggest message out of any song on the album.
definitely. Oh yeah.
So Tyler talks about suicide and depression and how it's been glorified by the media as well as the band themselves in the past. Uh, he talks about the actual dangers of it. How it's not something that's it's great and just helps you write great songs. So
For
what do you
sure.
think of this?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
And I'm giving it a quick listen again. This refresh my ears. I think it's a pretty good song. I definitely put it as the fourth best song in this album. I think it's I think every album needs a song that has concrete meaning you should get from. The song has it all. Everything is said about depression and the I want to say revitalization, romanticization. There we go, of suicide and depression for the media. That's all true in the song. That's good. What I especially liked in the meaning was the very few lines where it talks about giving back thanks to your elders, to your grandparents because they gave you life
Yeah,
and they kept on a path of life. That's really good. You know, not many pop ish songs talk about looking back about filial piety. That's not very. That's not a very Western kind of notion.
like you look at
Um,
the nowadays you look at the most popular songs going around. Like you see so many depressing songs. Like
yeah.
Juice World, XXX Tentacion.
Ooh, yeah.
Like there's some bad ones out there.
Yeah. And we're not um speaking both of us. We're not saying they're bad songs either. They're good
Yeah,
songs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree, but I think that artists need to. It's just not right for them to be making money just like glorifying suicide. Like uh,
No,
Jocelyn Floors by XXX Tentacion is a good example of this, where
well,
he's actually just talking about killing himself.
well, not just glorifying suicide. I think this glorifying negativity. I think is really what it is. Because it's
Yeah, I
not
can
always
see that.
suicide. It's just it's a mixture of sadness in between. Where's the positive? That's why I like Levitate. It's hyped you up. That's what I want. Um, Another comment I have about Neon Gravestones that I really like a lot is how he sings. About how he sings the song. He sings very lazily and very dead, which is the very notion of this song, at least for most of it. So he plays the part very well. The song has a lot of character as well to go with the lyrics. He shows energy when he needs to when he raps, and he shows depression when he needs to in the chorus, and he pulls out very well in the stone. It's a very small thing, but I think it makes a huge impact on how he sings and to the effect of the song. But yeah, I would put it in definitely top five for me, number four of my favorite songs of this album. But and you like it too, so that's good. But it's definitely a song you have to listen to again closely to really get a lot of meaning out of it. But yeah,
Yeah, it's a great song. All right, so track number 8. We're on the second half of the album.
all right.
uh,
Oh, the hype, the literally the opposite of hype for me.
I thought
Oh,
that it was good, but I didn't. I don't think it's one of my favorites.
ugh. It's I don't know. This was way too cliche in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's definitely not one of my favorites, but
Yeah.
I
You know,
think that I think that I like the chorus of it, but I think that overall it's just yeah, it's kind of forgettable.
oh yeah, it's I don't know. When I read the hype, I'm like, this better hype me up. Did that hype me up? It hyped me up for the next song. That's what it really did.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Honestly, when you name a song the hype, there's like a certain expectation going into it, and
oh yeah.
it's
Oh,
easy to miss that expectation, and
yeah.
they did in this scenario.
speaking briefly about that, I feel like I don't. I completely agree with that. You have to have a song that really matches up. You have a good name like The Hype or like Legend, which didn't. What was Legend? Like, I'm expecting some badass song coming up right now. When you give me this kind of sissy song, what are you doing, 21 Pilots? Like, what are they doing? But yeah, The Hype does that. The song's notable for me in terms of musically speaking. It's notable for a ukulele being introduced.
Yeah, that's
So like,
actually something that is present in multiple songs for the rest of this album.
yeah, right after this, but this is the first notable instance of it.
Yeah,
And that's unique because they really a lot of their roots when Pilots when they first came out had ukulele songs in it, especially the cover of "Falling in Love with You." That's how they got known originally before. So I'm glad they brought the ukulele back, but I think in this context, too cliche. You didn't need it. Really didn't need it. I feel like the song was actually written on ukulele and transferred over, which is fine. In that case, make an acoustic version. I'd be happier, I think. But rather than making a studio mixed up version.
all right.
That's
So
my opinion.
yeah, it's pretty forgettable. Not much to say. Track number
All right, got
9,
four. Oh yeah, that this song though.
Nico and the Niners.
My boy Nico though. It's oh man. This song is probably not even in music, but just the music video. One of the most interesting ones I haven't. I'll link you to it right now, but it's I don't know. It's kind of confusing. It's like they're rebelling against a cult, but they're not.
Yeah, this is
Like,
definitely the most conceptual song on the album lyrically. This whole album's a concept album, but
yeah,
I think you could have figured out your own meanings for most of these songs so far.
yeah,
Besides maybe Jumpsuit, that song's also pretty conceptual. But
yeah. Well, I don't know about it's a concept album. I think there's some songs that I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
stand, like like My Blood definitely like a concept album. I'm expecting their songs to mesh well and to have meanings with each other.
yeah.
But
It's
a song like My
album's
Blood,
concept album's
yeah,
not really the right term.
yeah,
It has an overlying concept,
it does
but
that. I
it
can go
doesn't.
with.
But it doesn't tell a story. If that makes sense.
You know what? I'm gonna talk about it right now. I was gonna say what I'm gonna talk about right now. The theme of this, the theme. I don't even know what the theme is entirely. To me, it's death, right? I think it's death. Or you told me before the podcast that it could be, like depression. I don't think so. I think they went over that. If it is depression, they've already had a song about it, like, the Chlorine song, the Chlorine song. But yeah, they already had a song. They already had a song about it before. But one song's fine. I don't think the whole album would be bad. I think really it's about death.
I think you have a good point there because I think that having the whole album about depression would completely go against Neon Gravestones.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is like
Neon Gravestones talking about how they've been glorifying depression in the past in their music.
Oh yeah.
While the actual album's about depression, that doesn't make sense. So I think you're right. It could be about death.
Yeah, maybe not even death. Like something I also something like I like about the videos too is that it shows like symbols of death like in the bishops before, but there's no fighting going on. Instead, at the end of Nico and the Niners, they're leaving a tunnel, and two kids have a jumpsuit. Another opinion I have right now is that it could be that death's a form of revival. If something has to die for something to be alive, and to bring life back is a good thing in the very end. So maybe it's saying death, or maybe not even death. Is losing something isn't that bad because you're revitalized in the very end. That could be some meaning. But anyways, to the actual music of the song, I think it's a decent song. I think it's kind of catchy chorus. It's ready, it's over. It's not bad. Harmony's all right. But really, what makes the song to number 5 best song for me in this album has to be the rap part. Holy crap!
Yeah, I think that the verses have a little bit of a reggae thing going on, which again, there's
reggae.
A bit of a
wasn't expecting a reggae kind of.
It's like it has a bit of a reggae influence. I think it's a lot more pronounced on the next song, but I think that there's a little bit of some reggae something going on in the verse of this song.
Ooh, I don't know about reggae. I don't know that's. I don't know. I don't know that's the right word, man. If you want to say relaxed, laid back, that's a good term to describe the verse. You know, it's a very nonchalant kind of tone when he sings in the verses. So I can see where the reggae is coming from. I don't think it's a reggae though. It's super laid back.
The
That's what
next
song
song
is.
definitely has a reggae thing going on.
Oh yeah, but
We'll
a
get there
quick
in a
question
minute.
is on before we get to that song:
Yeah.
Levitate or this song's rap verse? Which is better or stronger in your opinion? Because both are really strong.
I prefer Nico and the Niners. I think that I think it has the. It doesn't have the nowhere near the energy of Levitate, but I think that it gives that up for some great rapping in the verses and a great chorus as well.
Alright, no, I think Levitate's better in this song, but this song might have a better rap part. Maybe I don't. It's up there with Levitate, and I did wish they rapped a bit more. You know, together to like in the music video of Nico and Niners, it was just straight up this Tyler and Josh on the drums, Tyler rapping it out. I want to see more of that. This drums and rap only. That's something I want to see more rather than this bull crap kind of like pop mix. Like, get out of here, man. What are you doing? What are you doing in a pop song? Get out of here, man. Give me some more rap, you know? But he's strong. He's gotten better over the years. This album is an epitome of him getting better at pop, you know? You know. So I wish we saw more of that. But anyways, Cut My Lip. What do you think? Did it
Pretty
cut your lip
forgettable.
now?
Pretty
All right.
forgettable. So this one,
That's
I really there's like the piano on the offbeats. This song really sounds reggae to me, or like at least the verses. It's very subtle. When I say that it sounds reggae, I'm just talking about like a slight influence. I'm not talking about you could go and compare
whole
this
genre?
to
Yeah.
the Wailers. And it's like, oh, it's like the same thing. I'm just talking about a tiny little influence that I'm catching. And like I said, there's in the verses of the song, there's some like splashy sounding pianos on the offbeats
Oh yeah.
on 2 and 4, and it kind of reminds me of some reggae.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
that's
it.
fine.
I don't think it really works though. I think this song is just forgettable. No chorus that I'll ever be humming. There's a choir, like a gospel choir that comes in towards the end of the song, which I thought was kind of interesting. I didn't love it, but I think this is up for my least favorite song on the album with Smithereens.
I'm not hearing a choir. I'm hearing more of an echo effect going on. But yeah, it's definitely up there. This song is the definition of a filler song. Nothing exceptional. It's just there to add some length to the album overall.
Which I don't think it needs it because it's already like just under an hour, which I think is
Yeah, that's good enough for a pop song. Honestly.
Yeah.
That's good enough for an album. For me, an ideal album length is like 45 minutes.
I agree.
You know, around that. It should not be much longer than that. Theoretically speaking, if you wanna, unless it's some purpose, you know, if there's some, you know, again, like an album like Dark Side of the Moon, you know, best albums of all time, you know, and it's a good album to compare other albums to. You know, it was long, but it worked well. Every song worked well, and it had a good feel to it. It didn't feel long. You know, if you can have a long album, it shouldn't feel long, and that's how you know album's good. However, this is kind of song where it makes albums seem long, and that doesn't do justice to it, right? You know, it's a kind of song that makes me think, okay, why didn't they just cut this song? You know, but you know that's giving some discredit to the mix or the producer and just the band in general from making the song. But who knew?
But Cut My Lip and Smithereens, what I would say are my least two favorite songs on this album.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
There's still a couple songs coming up that are not great, but I wouldn't say that they're my least favorite on the album. But anyways,
yeah,
that one's forgettable.
Oh yeah.
Overall, track 11, Bandito.
Bandito. Good song.
This
Good
is
song.
I agree. I like the song a lot. I think that Tyler's vocals are just incredible on this song.
Definitely, this is the vocal song. It is a whole album.
It's almost a piano ballad. It has some I don't know what the right term is. Not heavier, but some more.
Mellow.
It has
Well,
some
not even
it
mellow.
has some dynamic changes. I think is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But it's mainly just piano, drums, and vocals, with Tyler singing a very soft, catchy melody line that I'm a big fan of.
No. With a bass, might I say, and a distorted bass at that too.
Yeah,
Kind of interesting. Or either a bass or a heavy synth. But here's the thing, I like that. This is definitely a good song overall,
I
especially for this
agree.
album. This well, we could stop it there. It's a good song, but
Yeah,
why
it's
is
a
it a
great
good
song.
song?
I
But,
I think
well,
it just has a great tonal change. Uh, there wasn't a song before this on this album that was like this quiet, and I'm not too sure what the song's about at all, but I think that there's a lot of emotion in Tyler's voice, and it gets conveyed very well with the piano and all the instrumentals.
oh yeah, it's something I like by the song is that it doesn't actually build tension, but it holds tension. It's a static song in a good way. Some songs can be static and can be permanently boring, but this song just interests you the whole time hearing it. From the high pitched vocals that Tyler has, contrasting with the really low volume but present distorted bass, to just the effects going on. This has a lot of effects going on, especially synth wise too. By far the best synth demonstration that Tyler has in the whole album. Um, and like I said, I think it's a quiet song. Not that it's not that it is quiet, but that it feels quiet, even though it's not. And if you can have that effect going on a song, that definitely shows mastery music. But I think about it, I'm getting this kind of like Stranger Things kind of vibe too from the synth as well. Not sure if they were influenced by that at all, but you know, hey, who knows? But it's pretty cool. But if you want the song to show off Tyler's vocals in his album, it's this song. And if you want a song to show off Tyler's rap, I would pick Levitate.
I'd agree
But
with
overall,
that.
yeah.
There's
But overall,
absolutely there is actually a rap section on the song, and I think it works out pretty well.
There is. It is, and that's the thing, right? Even though it's the higher pitched song, it still feels 21 Pilots. It still feels, even though it's a ballad, it still feels 21 Pilots by the bass, by the drums, and by Tyler's freaking vocals. It feels 21 Pilots.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. If you can do a ballad, better feel like it's just still the same band. But yeah.
So yeah, it's a great track. So track 12, we're getting close to the end of the album. We have track 12, Pet Cheetah.
Pet Cheetah.
I
Again,
thought
that
this
is-
song it was one of the more unique sounding songs on the album. Just
Experimental,
because
maybe.
I wouldn't say experimental.
More than
but
that.
I'd say that again, I think it's a big tonal change, especially from Bandito to this. Is this song has a very, very creepy sounding synth lead that has like a reverse effect on it. I thought it was interesting. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. It's definitely in the neutral category for me, but it's all right. It has a good energetic rap section in the second verse. It's probably my favorite part of the song. But what are your thoughts on it?
I think he summed it up pretty well. I'm not gonna say a whole lot about it. Again, it's like I said before to you before the podcast. It's borderline. It's borderline. It's not forgettable. I'm gonna remember it because of the flashy orange of the music video and just the moving light bulb in the music video, as well as the weird feel of the song.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the kind of song I can see Tyler and Josh performing, and I can see Josh having this what the hell am I doing kind of face. I was doing drums, and Tyler just being a freaking weirdo and all the 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds out there are awing Tyler, even though they have no idea what they're listening to, or what he's saying, or what kind of effects are going on, or what time is it, or why they're even there. You know, it's just one of those weird songs where it's like, what time is it? I don't know. So I gotta look at the time.
I mean, like I was talking about earlier, though, I do love the rapping on the first and especially the second verse of this song.
That's fair.
I think the second verse of this song, he's like even more energetic than he is on Levitate.
Okay. All right.
And I don't really care for the chorus or the rest of the song, but I do like the verses, which is what's keeping it in the neutral for me. Other than the verses, I think it's pretty forgettable.
That's fair. I'm hearing it again right now. I wouldn't say it's more energetic, but it's definitely more. I want to say forceful, but that's not what I
Visceral,
want.
in your face.
Yeah, in your face. Yeah, his diction is much more pronounced, and I mean, he's slower as well, speaking and singing, but much more pronounced. More pronounced diction. It's that's the definition of visceral, I guess, because context. But it was alright. Again, definitely better than other more forgettable songs. At least we're talking about it more than
Yeah, I
other ones.
agree. I think that
or rather not talking more about it, but talking more favorably of it.
yeah, like a lot of these songs I can't say anything inherently bad about. It's kind of like what you were saying earlier. How I think it's hard to make a bad pop song, but on the topic of forgettable pop songs, we have the next track, Legend.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, let me just say right now, never name a forgettable song Legend. Never. Because it's going to be the legend of the name itself. Hey, what's your name? Dick. Who the hell names their kid Dick? Who does that? No offense to Michael Dick, but seriously, who does that? who does that? Basically, so I'm questioning the creation of Legend more than an actual song, and I'm staring at why are there flowers for a song called Legend? I'm looking for some badass warrior, a champion in armor, a woman with a freaking machine gun, an AK-47. No, we have some flowers in between. It's moving slowly and silently. We have this gimmick of what is called a pop song. What is this? Your opinions, Noah?
I think pretty much everything that you said. I think that the song is pretty forgettable, but it didn't do anything that I disliked. Unlike the two songs that I have as my least favorite, in Smithereens and Cut My Lip.
Yeah.
Cut My Lip just didn't have anything catchy about it, and Smithereens had that one. Is a short section, but it was kind of strange, and it took me out of the mood of the song. Other than that, those two songs didn't. I mean, those two songs did something that I specifically didn't like. This song's just forgettable. I wouldn't say it's bad by any means. It doesn't have any bad parts, but it just doesn't have the edge of 21 Pilots. It's just your run-of-the-mill pop song.
I guess that's fine, but what the song does right is that it gives that kind of like feely kind of song. The 21 Pilots, even though it's an edgy band, a lot of them all like 13-year-olds or young people on the some 20-year-olds who are just even though they're edgy, they're all feely and together. That stereotypes the vibe. That's what the song does. I can see a lot of people just doing a slow hand wave as Tyler is singing / rapping and then playing ukulele in the background. That's the kind of song. It's a hand wave song. And that's what it is, and that's fine. Again, there are some songs an album needs depending on the band. This is one of the songs. You just need a hand wavy song. A song where people just relax, and after they're getting tired of headbanging for 2 minutes because of Levitate, this is a song you need to just hug your friend, side hug them if you're friend zoning them, and just chill. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Speaking of
I
chilling,
agree. It has a good it has a very upbeat, happy sort of vibe to it, and I
mm-hmm.
think it might actually be the happiest song on the album. I think
it
tonally,
it actually probably is, yeah.
which
But, but that's not what I want. Come on, Pilots, don't be happy. Come on.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just think again, just
Like
pretty forgettable.
actually, like they're not Pharrell Williams. Don't be happy. Seriously.
Uh, so yeah, so we get to the final song on the album, "Leave the City,"
Oh,
track 14.
come on, man. Why? You have to end a song. You have to end an album that was this strong in the beginning on this weak of a note. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I have to say, honestly. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm never gonna just single the song out and listen to it while I'm in the car. Uh, it's another piano ballad, kind of in the vein of Bandito.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually like listening through the song again, just piece by piece. It actually has a very similar formula to Bandito, but just not the same emotion or
Or I want to say like tension still holding.
I guess.
This song is like they kind of gave up on like making a higher pitch energetic song, and you know they have this leave the city. You know we'll just leave the studio room because that's it. You know.
Like I don't actually think I realized how much this song is like Bandito when I first listened to it. Just like going back to it right now. Like in Bandito there's like two kind of build ups into a louder section, and it's the same thing with this song.
Yeah.
But again, I just think that they don't nail the emotions as much as Bandito.
They don't. It's not even that bad of a song. It's the fact that
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
to end on this. It sounds dead. You know, this is the kind of
I
song
agree. If they ended on Bandito, I think it also would have not been
would
great.
make yeah. I think that would I think that would have been well. I don't know about that either. I think Many is just objectively I think it's a better song than this one.
I mean, I agree, but I think that just tonally, it's not the best thing to end the album on.
Oh yeah, no, you should not. And
Yeah,
these are more
something
slow
just sad
songs.
of a note.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, we're giving you too much crap, Noah. I mean, it does sound a bit, building up, and it's more inspirational. That's what the song is.
no, I don't hate the song at all. In fact, I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
uh on the upper end of the songs. I think I'm just kind of neutral on.
that's fair.
I don't really I don't really have these songs ranked from favorite to least favorite, but just like
Yeah.
in my head, I think the song. I don't know. It's missing something. I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's just the fact, like you said, that it ends the whole album off. But I don't know. It's a forgettable closer, and I think that they could have done better.
Fully agree. They end the song on a piano note, but they started in with a bass. That's not how you end a song. That's not no, seriously,
Yeah,
that's not how you.
I agree.
That's not how you end. That's not how you end. For the kind of start they had, are you gonna finish? It's like it's like you're doing a marathon and you enter with a sprint, but you end in limping and walking. That's not how you end. You end jogging. This song was not jogging. The song was limping and walking. And if that's how they want to end it. That's fine. I mean, but who cares, right? They're a pop band. Well, most people expect for the diehard fans, which apparently it's 5 million people or whatever it is, average per song. Won't listen
Yeah,
to the full album. So who cares how the album ends? As long as they get their hits on My Blood, Levitate, Jumpsuit, Neon Gravestones, maybe Nico and Niners. As long as they get those hits out there, they make the moolah. Who cares, right? It's the people like us who will actually listen to the whole album who actually care. And it's a show. Let's do a show right now. How much people don't care. This has the lowest view count of all the videos for the album. So,
Yep.
actually, I take it back. Legend does, which also makes more sense.
So I think the final consensus on this album is it's great. It has a phenomenal first half, with the exception of one song, in my opinion, Smithereens. Every other song in the first half of this album is one of my favorites, and a bit more of a rocky second half. But I think I'd put this album into 3 different categories of how I like it. There's the songs that I would just single out and I would listen to when I don't have much time to listen to songs, and those songs are Jumpsuit, Morph, My Blood, Chlorine, Levitate, Neon Gravestones, Nico and the Niners, and Bandito. They're the songs that I would only listen to if I was listening to the album in its entirety, which are The Hype, Legend, Leave the City, and Pet Cheetah. And the songs, and the songs that I think I would skip if I was listening to the album in its entirety are Smithereens and Cut My Lip.
Yeah.
What are your closing thoughts on this album?
I think it was good. I don't think it was phenomenal. What this album does is it probably has some of the best hits that Pimp has potentially has come up with.
I completely agree.
Yeah, up there with Heathens. At the same time, it has a lot of forgettable songs, in my opinion, or songs that are just average
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, I agree.
This album is the best and worst of what 21 Pilots can do. What it does the best, however, it shows off the progression. This is the best rap and the best singing and the best variety that Tyler and Josh have ever done for an album, hands down. If you want to see the progression that a band has done in their music career, this is the epitome of that. It shows the amount of skill they have gained and the amount of growth they've had as a duo, and it's great. I love it. But in terms of an album, like the music, I would not listen to the album all the way through ever again, hands down. As a fact, I would not. That is more music. It's more music, more songs I want to loop than the whole album. When I hear the songs on the radio, like My Blood. When I hear My Blood radio, I'm definitely gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna tune away. I'm not gonna change the channel. I think it's fine. But there's reasons why the other songs aren't being played. Because one is the radio, it's pop, and 2, they aren't that good. They're forgettable. I'm gonna give it a solid 7.
I feel like going into this album, I was giving it an 8, but going through the songs, like you were saying, like the singles are the strongest singles that 21 Pilots has ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also just some forgettable songs on here. So I think I'm also changing my rating to a 7 out of 10.
May I see? Oh.
I love the singles a lot, but there are also some songs that I would never come back to. But there are also there are a couple good non-singles on this album in the form of Bandito and Morph. Morph isn't a single, is it? I don't think it's a single.
And Neon Gravestones.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Sorry. Forgot about that one. Yeah, there are a few good non-single songs on this album, but 21 Pilots can do better on the 5 other songs that I thought were not great.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know it's not a bad album when we're actually praising the non-singles as well. At least several of them.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
If we can do that, it definitely is not a bad album by any measure. They're better than the other pop artists out there who have only one single or only 2, and they're milking money. Sigh. But that's what it is. It's 21 Pilots, a great band. I would put them as a great band. They definitely have everything a great band has: variety, a fan base, loyalty to their fans, and growth.
Oh yeah, one thing that I didn't really touch on in my overall thoughts of this album was like you were saying right there, the variety. It's something that they've always been good at,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it didn't feel as natural as it did on this album. Uh,
I can agree with that.
there's like on Blurry Face. I remember I don't remember the song exactly. I think it was it Hometown? It was like a total reggae crossover. There's one song on it. I don't remember, but it just didn't flow with the album. And I think this is something that they improved on in this album. From something like Jumpsuit to Levitate. Jumpsuit ends with these screaming vocals, and then Levitate picks up with this super energetic hip hop song. I just think that they nailed the variety on this album. They just make it flow.
I was going to say the opposite. I don't think it flowed very well. A song like what's it called again? Pet Cheetah. That did not flow very well. That did not stand. It stood out because it didn't flow very well, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
I think
maybe that's not what I'm trying to say.
yeah. However, I do think they did a good
I
job showing variety.
I
That's what
think I think what I was trying to say, not really that it flowed. I think what I was trying to say is that uh I feel like they're mastering their different sounds, I guess.
Slowly but surely. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like uh even the song that I think had a reggae influence on it, Cut My Lip, was still better than the reggae influences that they've had on the past albums. Even though it's one of my least favorite songs on this album, I think that they're getting better at everything that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Just in general, I think this album's a big step up from everything they've done in the past.
They're growing. That's what I want. And I want them to grow. My favorite bands, like, Muse, they grow and change over time. No, I mean, Muse, they grow, they change. Not always for the better. But here's the thing: as long as it's changing, that's good. What I want to see from a band or a musician is I want to see two. I want to see either two things. I want to see them get better at what they are doing or change it up, and it's something that's also good. And 21 Pilots is the second one. No, well, actually, no, sorry, the first one. The beginning they experimented a lot, and they were experimental a bit. Rappy, singing, they change back and forth, back and forth. The first stuff is nothing like the newer stuff. I will tell you that right now. The kind of singing stuff they had before, piano kind of stuff. However, now they've gotten better at what they've done. Tyler has really mastered his rap in Levitate, definitely, and also in Equal and Niners. And he's mastered his ability to falsetto and to sing higher.
Examples of that are Bandito and My Blood.
Bandito. Oh yeah, definitely. And can't forget Josh too. Josh is being more prominent in his songs as well. Levitate, great drum song.
That was like I think the best drumming I've heard from 21 Pilots was in Levitate.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, and I said this in the past to you before, but I really wish Tyler got out more. I really should show him off because he looks like a fantastic drummer, and I feel like being in this band closes him off. At least to me, they are a duo and known as a duo, but Tyler's doing a lot of the front end work because he's a singer, keyboardist, and rapper. You freaking name it. And Tyler's a drummer, and drummers are fantastic. They're the core members of a band. I wish he had more presence.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I also am not sure how big he is on the writing process either. Does he write the lyrics or something? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. That's something that we have to look up. Maybe a fan could tell us. At some point. But, yeah, that's something I would want as well.
Yeah. So overall, I think they've evolved very well on this album as artists.
Yeah.
And there's some really high ups, but there's also some downs that I would like to see them iron out on their next album.
It's mainly being consistent.
I agree.
Yeah. The true sign of a good artist in any field, whether it's music, it's art, or in sports, is consistency in anything. If you can be consistently good, you are a star. Are 21 Pilots stars? I would not. I would say no. Are they popular? Yes. Are they famous? Oh yeah. Have they made hits? Oh yeah. But are they at a star status? I would put them as no. They still have the stereotype of being the edgy ones or being too mellow, being too depresso. Even though they're not, they have songs that show against that. But until they hit that consistent record as a band and showing off what they're really good at and giving songs that are against their status quo that are actually really good as well, making good forgettable songs. Until then they won't be stars. However, they're still good. They're great even. And I hope to hear more from them. I hope Tyler, keeps making music, even though it might hurt him every now and then.
Yep, I completely agree. So overall, we're giving this album a 7 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Solid album.
Yeah, would recommend.
Yeah, definitely worth a listen. Anyways, that is our first episode of our podcast.
Yep, burn the stockpile, baby.
I forgot about the name of our podcast from the beginning
actually,
of it to the end of it,
yeah.
but burn the stockpile.
Accidental. It's accidental, but I like it because we're like, the stockpile is the crap ton of songs and albums being released, and we're burning it up, man. We're just shredding it up, man. We don't want that. And on that topic, there's just so many songs these days. There's so much. But, if we can redefine the ones that are hopefully gems and artists and albums that are hopefully gems, the gold out there, that's good. But, if we can make someone listen to a good song or album, great. And if we can make someone not listen to a good song or album, a bad album or a bad song, also great. So, yeah, that's about it.
So, yep, episode 1 of Burn the Stockpile. If this goes live, we hope to see you all on episode 2 of Burn the Stockpile, where we will most likely be reviewing Anderson .Paak's latest album.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
See you all then. Have a good day, everybody.